Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Daniel Wyln. A prime staple in our community surpassed its 85th year in business. Jimmy's Quick Lunch on Broad Street in Hazleton was given official citations to the Grawhall family from local legislators David G. Argall and Dane Watrow to the owners of the eatery in recognition of 85 years of operation. The restaurant has been the community's favorite lunch spot for decades, and stepping into the eatery, you're welcomed with the delicious smells of their well-known hot dogs and able to notice its old-timey atmosphere as if you step back in time to the good old days.
Elated. It's a nice honor to have these gentlemen come here and do this. It's nice to feel wanted here, and it's nice to feel appreciated, after all these years.
Inside, you can hear the bustling of guests as they chow down on their famous hot dogs filled to the brim of chili, cheese, or just as plain as they come, with some ketchup. Even in the evening, the crowds are bustling, and even in the 21st century, the restaurant manages to keep its old-timey feel when it was made since 1937.
Right now I'm here, we're running a business. We cut down hours a little bit. I still love the business, but I am 70 years old. So we'll see what the future brings. It wouldn't be adverse to selling it as long as they would run it still the Jimmy's way. But that's a scoop.
You can always come on down to Broad Street in Hazleton to Jimmy's Quick Lunch, where the business welcomes you with bright smiles and a lunch or dinner to certainly make your tummy happy. Charges have been brought against a 29-year-old man in connection with an armed robbery that took place at Unimart in Foster Township on January 20th. The robbery at the Exxon on Church Street, Route 940 in Whitehaven, on January 13th was allegedly committed by Andrew Bays of Silver Maple Lane in Foster Township. He was originally charged with the robbery that occurred in Foster Township on January 20th. He was accused by Whitehaven police of 2 felonies for robbery and 1 misdemeanor for theft and simple assault in each instance. After police made the public aware of surveillance photos of the armed robbery suspect, Bays was arrested. Police received a tip on Monday that the robbery suspect was at the Freeland Dollar General. After leaving the store's parking lot, Bays was pulled over by police, who then took him into custody. According to police, he eventually acknowledged carrying out both crimes. The Pocono Township Police Department is asking for help locating a woman they say stole from the Crossing Premium Outlets. According to police, the suspect entered the Tommy Hilfiger store in Tannersville around 4 p.m. on Saturday, January 1st, and took merchandise without paying. Investigators are describing the suspect as a white female with blonde hair. At the time of the theft, she was wearing a pink hooded coat, gray pants, and white shoes. Anyone with information regarding the suspect can contact Officer Timothy McNosey at 570-629-7200. Last night, Shavertown Engine and Chief responded to a crash on Memorial Highway around midnight. The crash occurred around Cost Tire and involved a sedan and parked vehicles. The driver and passenger were transported to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley by medics 30 and 33. Also, at approximately 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, emergency crews were dispatched to a vehicle crash where a car ran into a pole on North Church Street in Hazleton. Our own crews were at the scene, where it was noticed that the driver was being placed into a police vehicle to be escorted off the scene. It is reported that there were no injuries. The Wilkes-Barre branch of NAACP reported that West Hazleton Police Chief Brian Buglio is unsuited for public service. Buglio was sentenced to 2 months in prison and 4 months of house arrest in October of 2021. Buglio pleaded guilty to a federal charge after he had threatened a man with fake charges who was bashing him on Facebook. The NAACP asked the council and mayor this week not to reinstate Buglio into law enforcement. People held signs calling for the cutting of ties with Michael Possessor outside the Hazleton Area School Board meeting on Thursday. Possessor is currently an assistant career center principal at Hazleton, but he is currently on paid leave after a student accused him of harassing her. The protesters worried that the school board was considering Possessor for a new position as Assistant Director of Technology. However, before the meeting, removed the motion to create the new job description from the agenda. Board members stated that Possessor was innocent until proven guilty, and that the investigations have not resulted in charges. However, Superintendent Brian Uplinger also stated that the board needs additional time to discuss the position. The Schuylkill County Haven School District went on lockdown on Thursday for a police chase that happened nearby. The school went on a precautionary administrative lockdown until the situation was resolved. During the lockdown, no one was allowed to enter or exit the building. State police were searching for 45-year-old William Cirillo, who was considered armed and dangerous. When police arrived to pick up the man, he proceeded to run on foot, leaving the school to proceed into lockdown. Cirillo was apprehended and taken into custody around 3:30 p.m. without incident. He was wanted for a parole violation on a charge of simple assault in another state. The Scranton Police Department's Patrol Sergeant Jeffrey J. Vaughn, age 50, entered a guilty plea before United States District Court Judge Robert D. Mariani to the charge of theft concerning receiving federal funds, according to the United States Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. According to the criminal information to which Vaughn pleaded guilty between July 30th, 2021 and April 2nd, 2022, Vaughn allegedly obtained over $5,000 in compensation for extra-duty patrol shifts at local, low-income housing complexes that he claimed to work at, but did not. Vaughn admitted that his actions caused a financial loss of between $6,500 and $15,000, and that he had misused his position of trust. Vaughn also agreed to pay over $11,000 in reparations to the impacted housing units. According to federal law, the maximum punishment for this violation is 10 years in prison, followed by a period of supervised release and a fine. A lawsuit has been filed against Gus Genetti Hotel and a restaurant of Wilkes-Barre and its owner following the death of 67-year-old Larry Wilson. The lawsuit claims that Wilson's death during a fire at Genetti apartment complex last year could have been prevented. According to the law firms taking on the case, Wilson suffered from physical disabilities and relied on a scooter for mobility. As a result, he was unable to exit his apartment during the fire due to a lack of handicap-accessible exits. The law firm also states that the building management failed to inspect smoke detectors and fire sprinklers as required by law. Prior to the fire, tenants said defective fire alarms would go off regularly, despite the absence of smoke or fire. The lawsuit lists 3 counts, including negligence, wrongful death, and survival action. A Minersville man is facing charges after repeatedly calling in false reports. According to Minersville police, Richard Wright made 9 phone calls to Schuylkill County Communications reporting fights, noise complaints, juvenile complaints, shots fired, suspicious vehicles, and parking complaints at the Minersville Recreation Complex. Although officers responded to each call, all of them were unfounded. Police say every time Wright called, he used a fake name, but they were able to identify him due to his distinct voice and his difficulty in pronouncing common names and words. The police also said that Wright lives across the street from the recreation complex and that they have had issues with him in the past. Wright will answer to the charges before the judge on February 14th. This week marks the 6th anniversary of a man from Lackawanna County being missing. His family is speaking out and seeking information from the police about the case. Old Forge resident Robert Barron, 58, has been missing for 6 years, and his family says they won't stop until they receive justice and answers. After dropping off his son in Old Forge on the evening of January 25, 2017, Robert Barron vanished. Inside the family restaurant, Gigarelli's on South Main Street, detectives discovered blood and a tooth. A mile or so from the restaurant, his automobile was discovered several days later. It had mud on the tires and blood inside. According to the family, a video that was made public shows 2 men on South Main Street in Old Forge just after midnight on January 26, 2017. One seems to be hauling what looks like a suitcase. The Barrons claim a suitcase was missing from an apartment above Gigarelli's. If you have any information, call the district attorney's office at 570-963-6717. Coming up on Wyln News, your one and only favorite groundhog is getting ready to give us the spring, or more winter, weather next month. Plus, we take a look at the veteran who trekked 4,000 miles for veterans just like him to get service dogs. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old. It's partly cloudy and a little cold out.
Smile. want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Looking for a tax service you can trust? Look no further than Honest Abe's Business and Tax Service. They have a team of experienced professionals dedicated to providing top quality service and accurate returns. Don't stress, pay less. Honest Abe's Business and Tax Service, 259 Claremont Avenue in Tamaqua. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News.
Ladies and gentlemen, Punxsutawney Phil!
Will there be 6 more weeks of winter, or will spring arrive sooner? Punxsutawney Phil is the only groundhog who knows, and on February 2nd, we'll all know. According to the tradition, if Phil the groundhog sees his shadow and returns to his hole, he has predicted 6 more weeks of winter-like weather. If Phil does not see his shadow, he has predicted an early spring. The town of Punxsutawney's event is the most famous of many Groundhog Day festivals held in the United States and Canada. Although the official start of the event was in 1887, its origins date back considerably further. The live coverage of the 137th Groundhog Day event in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania is being provided by the Pennsylvania Tourism Office. You can watch it online through various live streams listed on the screen, including Facebook, YouTube, and visitpa.com. UGI Electric has reported that electricity bills for some homes and businesses located in Luzerne and Wyoming County may be headed upwards. UGI has filed a request on Thursday with the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission to increase base rates to customers by $11.4 million annually. If the company's request is approved, the total bill will increase from $192.73 to $209.96 per month. UGI reported that the increase would fund improvements and information technology investments that are necessary to support customer and electric service. The new electric rates are requested to take effect at the end of March. However, there may be a delay until fall of this year. Dementi's Restaurant is inviting you on Monday, January 30th, to chill out with some hot cocoa and homemade treats while you view their award-winning ice art displays. Ice for You to See is also allowing guests to donate $5 to help children in need with their treatment. Proceeds will go to the Palermo Heart to Heart. Join guest speakers Nate Ekus, former member of the Kansas City Chiefs, Corey Joseph, and Hazleton Fire Chief Donald Leschko from 5 to 9 at 5 Bowman's Mill Road, exit 145, ID1, West Hazleton, PA. We'll see you there. Trekking across the eastern coast, U.S. Army veteran Jimmy Thomas started up his 4,000-mile trek last September, where he kayaked from upstate New York all the way to Key West, Florida. Now, Jimmy is making his way back home via bicycle 20 minutes outside Albany, New York. When Jimmy was in the Army, he was with the military police, where he suffered from PTSD and stress-induced seizures. Then along came Boots, a golden retriever service dog who helps him cope. The long trek is a way for Jimmy to raise money for a good cause, provide service dogs to veterans just like him. He's raising funds through the Glenville Rotary Foundation's Doggy Paddle for Veterans. Thomas expects to arrive back in upstate New York next Saturday, February 4th. Coming up on Nanticoke's News Choice, Marty Burns finishes off the week with Let's Talk Sports. Plus, your favorite furry friends are back on Pets of the Week. And remember to tune in tonight at 7 p.m. for our live basketball broadcast where the boys of Hazleton Area Cougars take on the Pittston Patriots.
Hey, Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday, here to debunk 2 health myths that are really not helping you feel good. So first, mindfulness breathing exercises. Meditative, controlled breathing that can sometimes induce euphoric states. These aren't good. You're messing with your chemistry, and if you're messed for enough time or often enough, you could throw off the sensors in your body that tell you how much you need to breathe. You'll end up with something called overbreathing syndrome, which can get you lightheaded, make you dizzy, make you pass out, give you headaches. Not fun. Don't mess with your body's chemistry. If you're trying to combat overbreathing syndrome, breathe all the way out and let your body force you to breathe in, but only breathe in the minimal amount you can, or chant something like a prayer, like saying the rosary. The other one is, you shouldn't be afraid of sunlight. Too much sunlight obviously is bad. Think about a flower drying out in the sun, but you need sun, just like the flower. It's so good for you. It's so good for everything. It'll help you to feel good.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
TGIF, and welcome to Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, and it's NFC, AFC Conference Championship weekend in the NFL to set the matchup for the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona, coming up on February 12th. And let's start with the NFC. San Francisco coming up with a hard-fought victory over the Dallas Cowboys, getting key drives when they needed them late in that ball game, and they came away with the 19-12 victory. They'll be heading to Lincoln Financial Field to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And you heard me say it a few weeks ago, with all the talent and the skill players that the Eagles have, their MVP, in my opinion, Lane Johnson, playing with injury, came up with a big game. He stabilized that offensive line. Jason Kelce, maybe the best Kelce in the NFL, Even though his brother Travis may have something to say about it in Kansas City, that offensive line helped rack up 268 rushing yards against the New York Giants as the Eagles will take on the 49ers. 49ers, recent playoff past, are not afraid to go on the road. They've had key victories in Green Bay, Dallas, just to name a few. So they're not going to be afraid coming into Lincoln Financial Field. And as far as the Eagles go, all the attention will be on Jalen Hurts, but we'll see if they go with the running game or see if they can attack the 49ers through the air with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and he had a nice night the other night, Dallas Goedert at the tight end position. The one concern, looking at San Francisco, early losses on the road at Chicago, at Denver, and at Atlanta. Their fourth loss of the year came at home against Kansas City, where they really weren't in that game as well. Brock Purdy has played a couple of road games at Seattle and at Las Vegas, the new black hole, not quite like playing in Oakland. But we'll see how Purdy does coming into Philadelphia. It should be a very good ball game. But those three losses on the road early in the year really concerning. And as I said, Jimmy Garoppolo was at the helm for the 49ers. There should be a very good ball game to start off things on Championship Sunday in Philadelphia. Game 2, a rematch from last year's championship game. Cincinnati, who is red hot. We've talked about them through the last several weeks to keep an eye on them. Heading to Kansas City, where they've already beaten the Chiefs last year for the AFC Championship. They've defeated them again this year. And Mahomes injured, high ankle sprain. How effective will he be? Kansas City's defense does not impress me all that much. Cincinnati has all those weapons. And the one thing that I just kept thinking about when you saw Mahomes go out, the three names I'm going to give you. When Donovan McNabb went out and Andy Reid continued to find success with Jeff Garcia, Coy Detmer, and A.J. Feely. If Mahomes further injures himself come Sunday or can't go Sunday, there's just something about Andy Reid getting these quarterbacks ready, and Chad Henne came up with a big 98-yard drive against Jacksonville when they needed it, when they were only up 10-7, got a touchdown out of it, made it 17-7, and really the Chiefs didn't look back from that point. I have a feeling Andy Reid will have the Chiefs ready with Chad Henne in the background if needed. Another interesting matchup. You would think Cincinnati, but there's something about Kansas City playing at home that I'm not sure about. What I am sure about is it's time for the weekend. Enjoy Championship Sunday. San Francisco, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Kansas City. This has been Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Have a great weekend.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Struggling to get a good night's sleep? Then look no further. Grand Central is here to help. Grand Central Sealy experts will set you straight. When you buy your mattress at Grand Central, you can expect free delivery and setup, free removal of the old unit, and interest-free financing for up to 60 months. And of course, Grand Central's everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
There's no time like the present to adopt a pet, and the SPCA of Luzerne County has more breeds, shapes, and sizes of furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone, meet Fudge. Fudge is an energetic and active little fella. He will greatly benefit with some training with manners and walking on a leash. He was surrendered due to being too active and having separation anxiety. He will be best with a strong and dedicated handler. He's good with other dogs as well. Inquire about this boy today. And next is Junebug. Junebug is a very sweet and social kitty girl. She loves attention and really likes to be held and check out her surroundings. Junebug could make anyone a fantastic companion. Call 570-825-4111 to come on down and check out these featured pets and more. You may just meet your new best friend and give them a well-deserved forever home. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
You're watching WYLN TV 30.